All right, welcome back. The continuation of our module 3. So, among the topic we are to treat active listening techniques. So, in our effective communication skills, we also have what we call active listening. So, what are the techniques to listen actively? What does active listening means? So, active listening is a key communication skills that involves full concentration. It involves you to be fully concentrated, understanding, responding, and remembering what is being said during a conversation. So you are all there, body, mind, and soul. That is what we call active listening. So it goes beyond simply hearing the words. It's not just you hearing or listening in the literal phrase. No, it involves being genuinely engaged with the person talking. So you're not just there listening, you're part of the discussion fully. So what are the steps you take to be actively listening or to be an active listener? The first one is you focus completely on the speaker. So when you are listening to somebody, you don't shift your mind, you don't shift your eyes away. Concentrate completely on the speaker. Eliminate all distractions. Your phone, your system, anything that can take away your mind from the speaker, put them aside. It is not when you are doing active listening that you multitask. No. The second one is what we call maintaining eye contact. For you to do what we call active listening, then you have to keep looking at the speaker in the eye. So it shows you're paying attention and it shows that you're interested in what the speaker is saying. So when you maintain eye contact, it sends some messages to the brain. As at that time, when the speaker is saying something specific or general, you won't forget the information no matter how distant it is. Another one is to face the speaker when he's talking. So when you are listening, you want to be active in the listening. Your body language should be attentive. It should show openness. I'm ready to accommodate everything. I'm ready to consume everything you want to dish out. You have to sit upright, or maybe you're leaning on something. Just put your body in a situation that you are directly facing the speaker. If you are in a crowd and somebody's head is obstructing, try to move yourself so that you can be directly facing the speaker, or tell the person to move his head. So to ensure active listening, you must make sure that you're facing the speaker. Another thing you need to do, aside focusing completely on the speaker, is to demonstrate that you're listening. Demonstrate that you're listening. There are some body reactions that has to show that you're listening. Nod. At times you respond. At times it requires you to, at times you shrug your shoulders. At times it requires stamping your feet. At times it requires you clapping. These nonverbal cue signals that you are engaged in and you are following shows that you are engaged and you're following along. So use the appropriate facial expressions, smile when it is necessary, frown when you feel I don't like this. Or you raise your eyebrow, you can curve your lips, you can snort. It depends on what is being said. And just like I said, you can use short verbal acknowledgements like I see, okay, very well, understand, yeah, yeah, understood, it's all right, very well, okay. These are things that shows you're following. And all of these, especially using these short verbal phrases, encourages your speaker to continue to speak without interruption. Number three, don't ever interrupt the speaker. That shows you're actively listening. Let the speaker finish. Even it is best of manners that when somebody is talking, you don't interrupt. Allow the speaker to speak. Let them finish. Let them be done with what they have to say. The worst is you can take notes. So try as much as possible to resist the urge to bump into somebody's speech. Allow the speaker to finish their sentences. Give them space to complete their thoughts. Don't bump in. Don't interrupt. Then avoid jumping to conclusion. Allow them space to calculate their thoughts. Let them express themselves the best way and the complete way they feel they have to express themselves before you start assuming or before you start jumping into conclusion or before you start giving your responses. Number four, ask open-ended questions. Now, these questions shows you're following. Open-ended questions are questions that will require the person to say more words than yes or no. We call them WH questions. Questions that start with which, what, why, when, how, who. These are open-ended questions. So these questions will not allow the person to answer you with just a yes or a no response. So these questions will require more detailed responses from the person that is speaking. It shows you're listening. So if you are not now clear, you do not have enough clarification, then seek clarification. That's another thing. If you're unclear, politely ask the speaker to clarify. For example, when you said this, what did you mean? That's a polite statement. How should I, okay, when you said this the other time, how should I treat it? These are ways to be polite when you're seeking clarification. Number five, for you to be an active listener, you should learn to do what we call paraphrasing and summarizing. How? Reflect back on what you heard. To confirm you understood, summarize all that has been said to yourself, all the main points. Or let's say paraphrase. Paraphrasing is saying what the speaker has said without you using the words of the speaker and without you losing the main point. You're going to use your own words now, and you will not lose any of the main points the speaker has highlighted, any of them that he has highlighted. That's paraphrasing. Let me take it again. Paraphrasing is saying what the speaker has said without using the words of the speaker and without losing any of the main points in the speech. Then summarizing is just compressing everything the speaker has said into a brief and concise statement or paragraph. Then check for accuracy. These have to do with you being Very, very cautious. If you are not attentive, you cannot check for accuracy. If your mind is not there, you would have lost one or two words. It will be difficult for you to be able to ask questions, because if you told you've said that before, and that can be embarrassing. So you need to seek or check for accuracy when you know that your mind is completely in what has been said. So giving them the opportunity to clarify and expand, then you need to ask the speaker if your interpretation is correct. Yes. What you feel about what he said, that's the way you interpreted it. Is it correct? Number six step on active listening is to avoid judgment and stay neutral. Listen without evaluating. I have said this before. You don't form conclusion, you don't jump into conclusion, you don't form an opinion until the speaker is done speaking. While he's still speaking, you cannot form an, you don't know what he's going to say next. So once you form an opinion, you have a judgment, then you can go astray. You can lose the correct thing. Then you need to be open-minded. If you want to be an active listener, you need to be open-minded so that you can grab all necessary information that you need. Even if you disagree, at least completely listen before reacting. Allowing the speaker's point of view to come across clearly. Let them say it the best way it is. Listen actively. Take the point into consideration one after the other. And open your mind. Don't be sentimental, don't be biased, don't be judgmental. Number seven, show empathy. Acknowledge their feelings. Even if you do not align with the thought of the speaker, try to understand not just the content of the conversation, but also the emotions behind it. Yes, it is very crucial, especially for effective communication, for building relationship. Nobody's saying you have to accept that school of thought, but don't in any way undermine it. Try to understand, put yourself in the shoes of the speaker. Try to understand the emotions behind it. Even though the content does not go your way, at least try to have some feelings for why he has said that or why she has said that. For example, you might say, it sounds like that situation was really difficult for you. That's trying to understand the emotion. And if you understand the emotion behind, then you should be empathetic, putting yourself in the shoes of that person, assuming yourself in that position. So you use phrases like, I can see how that would be frustrating. So that will help the speaker to feel he has passed a message. Some people have heard me. So he, he is being seen on the emotional light now, through the emotional light, on the emotional level. Number eight, provide thoughtful feedbacks, respond appropriately. This shows you are an active listener. If your response is off the tangent, then it shows your listening